Just one game to look back on for the Wisconsin Badgers as this three-game road swing continues for Greg Gard's club. Another tough loss, unfortunately, for Wisconsin on the road at Nebraska as the shooting continues to be very, very spotty, especially from three-point land, and that hurt Wisconsin on Tuesday night in a 4-point loss to the Huskers. We'll look back on that game. Also get a taste for how the Badgers are handling this week gap between games, between the Huskers on Tuesday and Purdue coming up this coming Tuesday. Some renovations going on throughout the athletic department, and over the summer specifically, some renovations of the Wisconsin basketball office. We'll get you a tour of the new and improved digs from the dynamic duo of Aaron Moesch and Matt Ferris, and we'll have our weekly sit-down with the Badgers head coach. All coming up on the Badgers Sports Report.
Iverson now trying to back on Palmer, throwing to Pritzl right side. Cuts off the wing, and a long two is way off the mark. Saved by Iverson, now finds Davison for three, off the rim, no good. Pritzl in the lane, tips it up and in. Turns to Reavers, left of the circle. Reavers goes into Happ, left of the lane. Quick spin around Roby, reverse layup good, going left to right. Happ has 8, 41-32, Wisconsin with 12:20 to play. Reach near half court, gives it up to Pritzl. He'll flip to Davison, 15 to shoot. Brad with a pass for Happ, bounces to Reavers, low on the left, takes it right, layup good. Back come the Wisconsin Badgers. He's up for Davison, being crowded by Watson. Davison stumbles, regains control, finds Happ in the lane, to the rim, layup good. Little flip with the left hand from low on the left, or the right hand from low on the left. We'll get it to Happ. Ethan in the lane against Chimunga. One pump, almost dragging the pivot foot, but he scores with a left hand. 56-49 Nebraska with 2:10 remaining. He'll hand off to Palmer, down to 1:03 to play. Palmer, pass deflected by Happ. Ethan trying to save it. He does to Iverson with a minute to play. Here's Ford, down to Happ, to the rim. Layup good for Ethan Happ. Timeout Wisconsin. Oh, what hustle and determination from Ethan Happ, who can't buy one at the foul line, but he creates a turnover and pulls the Badgers to within 5 with 54.7 seconds remaining. This is Wisconsin basketball. Stolen by Ethan Happ. Happ to the rim, and he hammers it down with the right hand. He'll drive to the goal and hammers it down. New York City, the Badgers are coming your way. Is left open, snaps off a three and drills it. Out the court for three, left of the circle, tie game.
The Badger Sports Report is brought to you by Hy-Vee. Where there's a helpful smile in every aisle, Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers.
Do you want to know how to avoid the return line this year? Just ask for gifts you won't want to return. Well, I'm not going to need this receipt.
Ring in the new year at your Buick dealer. Experience the new Buick and get 18% below MSRP on almost every remaining 2017 Envision model. That's over $7,500 on this Buick Envision Essence.
This is what collaboration looks like. This is what happens when a cardiologist in Appleton works step in step with specialists at UW Health in Madison. You see, when Terry's condition required a second opinion, his doctor turned to the cardiothoracic team at UW Health. Together, we made sure Terry got the care and the heart transplant he needed. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health, remarkable.
Hi, this is Coach Greg Gard, inviting you to join the Badger Basketball Booster Club. As a member of the Booster Club, you will have the opportunity to participate in a variety of great events, including pregame chalk talks, golf outings, and an away game bus trip. The Boosters play a vital role in assisting our staff and student athletes through fundraising and sponsorship. For additional information on joining the club, please call 608-265-6161. There's no better way to show your support than to join the Badger Basketball Boosters.
New Year's resolution, Sue?
I'm getting the whole house organized. And the sales saved me hundreds. You?
Started with the garage. But these are gonna be great.
Yeah.
Visit your GMC dealer and get something you really want. Get 18% below MSRP on the most popular remaining 2017 GMC ACADIA models. That's over $9,100 below MSRP on a GMC ACADIA Denali. We are professional grade. GMC.
Watson back in there. He'll inbound. Baseline right. Bad pass. Stolen away by Happ. Ethan on the run out down the lane to the rim. Slam dunk with a right hand. Throws to Reavers. Feeds Happ back to Reavers. Now to Davison, top of the circle. Inside Iverson. Low on the right. Elevates and sends it down with a slam dunk.
One game to review, one game to preview. The Badgers not in game action here over the weekend, the last such stretch of time where they will not have played, from Nebraska last Tuesday to Purdue coming up this Tuesday. And Greg, notice with the practice schedule, you staggered it, a couple days off on and then another day off. What's the thought process on how you guys handle that week gap between games?
Well, trying to get the guys as much rest, and we've found scientifically they recover a little better with 48 hours off versus 24, just taking one day off. And also with the new rule this year of having to add 13 additional days off in addition to the normal day off a week, we have to plug those in. So it was a good time for us to use some of those days, obviously for us to rest and recover and refresh ourselves a little bit, and then obviously get back in the gym and work on some things ourselves.
You know, with the Nebraska game, obviously the result wasn't what you guys would like. We've talked about the offensive end. You cut down on the turnovers. Defensively, though, and maybe it was you kept it at a certain pace too, but Nebraska's on a scoring clip that's one of the top points per game that program's had in some 20 years. But I would think defensively too, they have guys who spread the floor, drive. You saw some encouraging things on
I thought we were defensively good enough. They were below 1 point per possession. We've had several games this year that we haven't had the final outcome we've wanted because we're having a harder time consistently scoring. But defensively, we've held teams below 1 point per possession, which is always our benchmark that we try to hit. And I thought we did a good job of controlling the tempo, what we needed to do, giving where we're at right now, keeping the crowd out of it, and giving ourselves a chance down the stretch.
Offensively, the offense is always going to look better when the shots are falling right now. I asked you after the Nebraska game about free throw shooting specifically, but maybe shooting period, especially from the three-point line. Is it a technique inconsistency, or is it more just a confidence issue when a team can't knock down shots?
It comes in bunches. You know, it's the type of shot you're getting. We've had games where we've made 10 threes. We've had games where we make 2 threes. So why is the difference in between? Some of it's the number of attempts. I think there's an area that we can get more production from the three-point line. We have to, given the makeup of other spots on the floor, and try to get more from that. And while at the same time making sure we're taking good shots, but knowing that we have to try to get more production from the perimeter, and making sure we're trying to get to the free throw line a little bit more. But again, if we can make more threes, and in order to make more threes, at times we have to have certain individuals take some more threes. That'll help spread the floor a little bit more, and help. All we need is a small bump. We don't need a gigantic bump, just a small bump in production. I think can help us get over the hump.
As coaches right now, do you kind of walk that fine line, because you're relying on so many freshmen? It's been 20 years since the Badger program has done this, where you're pushing them, but you have to also encourage, and maybe with any group of players, but especially the young guys, making sure that they stay as upbeat as they possibly can.
We got to be positive as much as you're still teaching, you're still demanding, the expectations don't change, but you got to make sure we reinforce and point out all the good things they're doing, because they are doing a lot of good things. I mean, we haven't maybe had the results here in the last couple games, but we've also shot 21% from 3 against Rutgers and Nebraska. You shoot a normal percentage, and we're completely having a different, the frowns are upside down, when we get to the locker room. So it's a fine line. We know we're walking, and simply one little area, albeit maybe we have some areas of multitude that we have to improve upon. We make a few more shots in either one of those games, we have a different result.
Yeah, that's a great point. I'd be saying, Greg, your team's 4-1 in the Big Ten. You're surprising everybody. The Purdue Boilermakers, probably not surprising you or many who observe college basketball with how good that team has been, both ends of the floor. But offensive end, as you scout them, what makes them so hard to guard right now?
Well, a big that's, use the word big, that doesn't even describe Isaac Haas at 7'4", 300. So that, and this his mobility and his, not that he doesn't go outside, but he does so many good things inside. He's so big. He's hard to maneuver. You're not getting him out. And they do a great job of finding him in different areas, entering from the top. It makes double teams harder to get to him. And then you surround him with 4 or 5 40% three-point shooters. That, who do you play off of? And and then also seniors around them. They're loaded. They have the most seniors of any, I think, team in the league, and it's an experienced group that's played a lot of basketball together, and obviously talented, and do a very good job of playing to everybody's strengths.
Of that group, would it be fair to say that Vincent Edwards in particular has really ramped it up as his career has progressed?
He has, and the other one that I think jumps out, P.J. Thompson was a 20% three-point shooter 3 years ago. He's shooting 51% from three now. So he's obviously spent a lot of time in the gym improving, and that was always maybe the Achilles heel before. You could play off of him, you could come off of him. Now it's hard to find a guy to come off of when you're trying to give extra help to Haas, and obviously he finds guys so well. They're a very unselfish group that plays really well together. All
right, Badgers and the Purdue Boilermakers on Tuesday night in West Lafayette. Tip-off will be at 6 o'clock Central Time, and they will play a home game again. That'll be Friday night here at the Kohl Center as the Badgers take on the Illinois Fighting Illini. Coach is back in a few minutes with a great day and great question of the week. Stay with us.
This is Lexi Rush. She's 10, and she's amazing. You see, Lexi was born deaf and couldn't hear anything. That was until her doctor in Appleton referred her to the pediatric specialists at UW Health in Madison. Now, 2 operations later, Lexi can hear everything. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health. Remarkable.
Walt McGrory isn't your typical true freshman walk-on.
I had offers from Brown, South Dakota State, Drake, Furman, and Maine.
The point guard from Minnesota turned down a scholarship from those schools to play in the Big Ten.
I just thought the opportunity was too much to pass up on. I felt like I could play at this level, and it was my one opportunity to do that, so I decided to give it a chance, and I love the coaching staff, the guys here, the facilities, and just all the respect the program has, so I just wanted to come here and play.
McGrory is one of 3 Minnesota natives in this year's freshman class, joining Brad Davison and Nate Reavers.
I'd always followed Big Ten and Wisconsin, a lot of guys like John Lure, Jordan Taylor, they grew up from Minnesota, so I always watched them. I liked their style, how they played, their toughness, so I'd always been admiring them.
He planned to redshirt this season, but injuries to both Demetri Trice and Kobe King forced head coach Greg Gard to play him out of necessity.
And it was just always being ready just in case something like that happened, and I feel like that's what I did, and so I felt like I was prepared when that happened. It was a little shocking, just the injuries like that, but I felt like I was ready.
He's a very tough guard. He's very strong, very tough defensively. He really holds his own on that end of the floor, and I think that's the biggest thing that we emphasize is just being able to defend and keep guys out of the paint. I think he's very capable of doing that.
In high school, you don't have to think as much as a point guard, and then you kind of get thrown into the fire, and you have to think about more than just scoring the basketball. I think that was the toughest part, but he really adapted quickly and has done a nice job. And I think defensively, he's really come a long ways of fixing some of his shortcomings and fixing his stance and his technique on a lot of things and being in the right places. So it's come a long ways defensively that can help us.
His welcome to college basketball moment didn't take long in his first career game against Western Kentucky.
It was 2 minutes in when I went to the basket and the guy just basically jumped on my head. And so that was a little bit jolting, but I was just happy I made that second free throw.
In Big Ten play, Brad Davison is averaging more than 33 minutes a game. So anytime McGrory can give him a rest is vital for the Badgers.
40 minutes is a long game, playing both offense and defense, especially guarding the guards that there are in this league. There's great guards, so it's definitely always good to get a breather on the media timeouts. We have full faith in him. He's going to go there and do his job.
His confidence to be out there on the floor and do the right things. He used to have a lot more questions. Now he's kind of figured things out and knows where he's supposed to be and knows where the ball's supposed to go. And he's just a little more relaxed than the first couple of times he was out there.
Catching up on the speed of play and everything, especially on the defensive side, I feel like still have a ways to go with that, but I feel like I've gotten a lot better on that side of the ball.
For the Badger Sports Report with Greg Gard, I'm Ryan Wing.
Do you want to know how to avoid the return line this year? Just ask for gifts you won't want to return. Well, I'm not gonna need this receipt.
Ring in the new year at your Buick dealer. Experience the new Buick and get 18% below MSRP on almost every remaining 2017 Envision model. That's over $7,500 on this Buick Envision Essence.
Most people don't know that UW Health and the University of Wisconsin are national leaders in the field of kidney transplant. They provide new life for those who will likely die without a transplant, and they assure a normal life for those who donate. I would know. I donated a kidney, and together, we saved a life.
UW Health. Remarkable.
New Year's resolution, Sue?
I'm getting the whole house organized. And the sales saved me hundreds. You?
Started with the garage. But these are gonna be great.
Yeah.
Visit your GMC dealer and get something you really want. Get 18% below MSRP on the most popular remaining 2017 GMC ACADIA models. That's over $9,100 below MSRP on a GMC ACADIA Denali. We are professional grade. GMC.
Hey guys, Aaron Moesch here.
Matt Ferris here.
And we're going to show you around the new men's basketball office.
Come on in.
Oh, welcome. Here's the historic Wisconsin basketball boardroom. You know, nice seats, big table, a lot of space for ideas, creativity to flow. Me and a couple guys use this room to study for finals, because after all, we are student athletes and the student comes first.
And then over here, we've got the beautiful 1941 National Championship trophy.
There he is.
Hey, Coach. What are you guys doing here?
We're just giving a little tour.
You mind if we go in your office and show them around?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
All right, great.
We'll go this way. Good to see you. That's our fearless leader, Coach Gard.
Here is the office of Coach Gard, head men's basketball coach. A lot of space.
Beautiful view, great view.
Great view. Yeah, if you can look closely, you can see what once was the surf.
And speaking of surf, on the corner we got our Maui surfboard from last year. That was nice. Over here, my favorite part of the office. You've got the Green Bay Packer helmet, signed by Aaron Rodgers on one side, Brett Favre on the other.
Ooh,
yeah, it's pretty nice. He said I could take it when he's done with it, so. Some signed balls, some nets that we cut down in years past. Gardway, which is a street in Cobb,
Wisconsin.
Cobb, Wisconsin, I believe.
Birthplace of Coach Gard.
Yep.
Just a lot of cool memorabilia.
Here's a little boomerang from Australia, from our trip to Australia.
I don't think it actually works, but I think it was obviously, as you can see here, it says it was made in Australia, so it's definitely authentic.
We come into this office.
Oh,
we got the knee machine.
It's a grind room.
Coach grabbing off.
This is the grind room.
Give him a little tour.
You guys need a little help?
Yeah, you want to say anything?
Yeah.
Anything to the fans?
Yeah, well, good luck traveling around the offices with these two guys. You guys ready to go for the scout team tomorrow?
You bet.
Absolutely.
Always.
Always ready.
If you look here, you can see a very young Coach Krabenoff. Krabenoff's work at Wisconsin, not yet finished. Legend. Younger, a few pounds ago.
This is Coach Moore's office. He had to take off, get recruiting, so we can get some good players for next year. Me and Matt are leaving, so sad. Here we go, Mark.
And this is probably the most important office of them all. This is the man that makes the magic happen. He is the brains of the operation. Mark Van Wettering.
All right, round of applause.
With a K, with a K.
Round of applause for Mark.
How you doing?
Good.
Good, good. We're just giving the folks a little tour around the new offices. So you don't have a mic on you because this is just totally impromptu. But if you want to speak into mine, let me know just what's your job here? What's kind of your day-to-day operations?
I guess today I'm working on
into the mic.
making sure that our Purdue trip is ready to go for next week, and always planning ahead for our next road trips after that. We got Iowa and Michigan State coming up, so making sure we're ready to roll.
Great. Thank you so much, Mark.
Always on top.
Mark Van Wettering, folks. The pride of Kaukauna, Wisconsin.
And then if we come down the hallway a little bit, it's our good friend Laura. Got a cozy little office back here.
Yes, and I sit around and hope for you guys to stop by every day.
Oh, that's why we come here. Coming to what we call, Coach Grabanoff called his place the grind room. This is the real grind room.
This is the the place of work for Kyle,
AJ, Ben, and all the managers that do the film work, that do the practice prep, all the stuff that I don't know how to do that they do. Some fancy technology. We got the Macs, TVs, all those, what are those boxes, servers?
The managers spend a lot of time in here. We've got a great set of managers, best in the country, best video crew, you name it in the country. They're in here coding games so that coaches can get filmed, so they can get filmed to us, and just make sure we're as prepared as possible. So this is where all the magic happens.
This is Kyle. AJ, Ben wants to add to the camera.
What's up?
Cameras, actually. They do a lot of the work, as they're doing right now. Sorry for interrupting.
That's where we break down all of you guys' highlight plays.
Ours? Yikes. Maybe one or two of those in the 5 years we've been here. That's the grind room, where all the grinding happens.
If you come around the corner, this is the last little nook and cranny of the office. One of my personal favorites, the copy room. Just kidding, but this is where all the paperwork's done.
Scouting reports, that's where they're printed
Scouting
too.
reports, yep.
This is the best part.
This is a pretty good part.
Seen a lot of his face in this office. There's another one behind you with him on it, and another one behind you with him on it.
Yeah, he was a pretty good, but this is actually the Frank room. And he was a pretty good player for us back in the day. I don't know if folks remember back in 2014, which was my first year. I was lucky enough to play with Frank for a year. And we'll use the term play very loosely. I don't think we were ever on the court together, but we still had the same uniforms on. Here in the main area, we got 10 TVs circling around. Why 10? Don't really know. I can at most watch 2 at one time.
And if you look over here, Final Four.
National finalists, yeah. It's right behind Bronson, right next to Jordan Hill. You can see about 4/5 of my face. And right next to me.
4.5/5 of my face, that would be 9/10.
It's a pretty full Aaron Moesch and an even fuller Aaron Moesch stash.
And this ugly guy up in the corner.
He is so ugly.
We miss him.
You can only see half of him, but he's really ugly.
We miss
Nigel. He's ugly.
Good times.
Yeah, good times. Thank you guys for coming along on the tour. We had a blast showing you guys around. Staff and support staff that makes this whole the program run smoothly, and we can't be more appreciative for everyone who works here. And they do an awesome job, and they deserve the best space in the world. And honestly, I haven't seen a single other men's basketball office in the world, but this one's the best I've ever seen. So,
what he said.
That's all that matters.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Coach Greg Gard, inviting you to join the Badger Basketball Booster Club. As a member of the Booster Club, you will have the opportunity to participate in a variety of great events, including pregame chalk talks, golf outings, and an away game bus trip. The Boosters play a vital role in assisting our staff and student athletes through fundraising and sponsorship. For additional information on joining the club, please call 608-265-6161. There's no better way to show your support than to join the Badger Basketball Boosters.
New Year's resolution, Sue? I'm getting the whole house organized. And the sales saved me hundreds. You?
Started with the garage. But these are going to be great.
Yeah.
Visit your GMC dealer and get something you really want. Get 18% below MSRP on the most popular remaining 2017 GMC ACADIA models. That's over $9,100 below MSRP on a GMC ACADIA Denali. We are professional grade. GMC.
This is what collaboration looks like. This is what happens when a cardiologist in Appleton works step in step with specialists at UW Health in Madison. You see, when Terry's condition required a second opinion, his doctor turned to the cardiothoracic team at UW Health. Together, we made sure Terry got the care and the heart transplant he needed. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health. Remarkable.
The Badger Sports Report is brought to you by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
Time for this week's Great Dane. Great question of the week, and we go to the Northwoods. Earl from Eagle River wants to know, Coach, 3 straight Big Ten road games. Is that something that you're going to see in future years?
Well, Earl, thanks for your question. Hopefully you got enough snow for the snowmobile derby coming up here
man,
in another week or two up there in Eagle River. But no, it won't be the norm going forward. This year there was a hiccup maybe in the scheduling with facilities. Northwestern's getting theirs renovated. They're obviously playing off campus. Minnesota has the Super Bowl coming to Minneapolis here, so they need to keep all traffic, I guess, away from Williams Arena for a certain amount of time around that Super Bowl event. Hopefully for our sake as Packers fans, the Vikings aren't in it.
Oh, that'd be bad.
Joe Krabanoff will be in his heaven there, but that's the reason why we all had to make concessions, because there's a couple schools that have some facility conflicts during this season.
And with that trip, that means there will be a 3-game homestand coming up, by
Correct,
the way.
yeah, we all get 3 home games as well.
So you get that back. It's a road-heavy month in January, but it obviously flips very home-heavy in the month of February. Thanks much, and good luck, by the way, with that snowmobile derby up there. And as you're heading up there, stop at the Great Dane up in Wausau, as well as 4 locations in Madison, east side of town, downtown Fitchburg, as well as Hilldale. Coach Gard's radio show returns to the Great Dane Hilldale. That'll be on Wednesday, January 31st. 2 games this week. On Tuesday night, the Badgers at Purdue. Friday night at home against Illinois. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
Honoring all-around excellence in men's and women's collegiate competition. Every division, every sport, the Learfield Directors Cup. The prestigious award continues its reign as the crowning achievement in college athletics. To follow your favorite team, like us on Facebook, find us online and on Twitter. The Learfield Directors Cup.
This is Lexi Rush. She's 10, and she's amazing. You see, Lexi was born deaf and couldn't hear anything. That was until her doctor in Appleton referred her to the pediatric specialists at UW Health in Madison. Now, 2 operations later, Lexi can hear everything. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health. Remarkable.
A pulse, felt by one, sends a ripple, felt by some. A shiver, felt by many, until it amplifies, magnifies into a tremor that electrifies. Badgers everywhere, moving as one, tilting the world on its axis.